Hello and welcome. It is Japan and it is War Games time. I'm going to do the prediction video for it. Now, this is kind of like a weird card to me because it's just obviously really, really small. Four, I think, is just kind of ass to do. I don't know. I'm like in that boat where I think five was kind of a good formula. When they did six every once in a while, I wasn't upset. But when they do four, it's just not enough to do anything. And I know the War Games matches are a good chunk of time, but I feel like the other two matches aren't going to be that long. So it's like, why are we just kind of getting this over with and going home? Because I've really not been too excited other than for the War Games matches. The other matches on the card are just not really needed to me. I mean, I know we get John Cena and I'm fine with that, but I really think he should have been part of the War Games match and not defending the title that he's probably just going to drop here. But let's get into it. So right off the bat, we have the first match. That probably would be the opening match unless it's one of the War Games matches first. But it'd be Stephanie Vercor versus Nikki Bella for the Women's World Championship. This is just a dumb thing. This is just absolutely dumb. Nikki Bella has no right to challenge for the title. I don't even care if they would have like built her up and then put the match in it and then did a heel turn. It just makes no sense. All she's done is taken pin after pin after pin after pin, and just because she attacked Stephanie, it's like we're gonna put her in a title match. It's dumb. And the last match she had with Becky Lynch was so bad. It was the worst match of the entire summer, and that's not even uh like a case to be said. It's just that's what it is. It's the worst WWE match, maybe of the entire year if we really think about it. I would have to go back and think of all the matches I've seen. It's pretty damn close to that, and I thought Becky Lynch did pretty solid in that match. That's how bad this match was. But I guess they wanted to run this back for some reason for nostalgia value, but there's no way Stephanie loses this match. There's just no way. Next up, we'll go to the Intercontinental title match: John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio. Honestly, I had no problem with Dom being going for the title. It just feels kind of pointless that we have him facing John Cena twice. Like out of this whole title run, it was just like, Dom's the future and should get a match, but I don't think there should be two matches that they put on there. It's not like necessarily wasting it to a certain extent, but there's so many people that are not going to be able to get that opportunity, especially younger people. And because it's last time is now tournament. I really thought there was gonna be a dark horse, like somebody super young making like a super deep run, but obviously that's not. They're all veteran, older guys mainly. What is Jey Uso, um, Solo? I guess is probably the youngest guy. Gunther, and I don't even remember. And LA Knight. Those are all veteran, pretty much well established people. So it's just kind of a weird choice there. So when you have this last like PLE match, you would think that they would have done something where it was like completely brand new, even though they just ran this match. I think it's going to be a decent match, though. I think they're going to at least do something. I don't think it's going to be like a 5-star classic, but it can at least probably be better than the women's match. So I'm going to go with Dominic Mysterio winning here. I mean, there's no point of keeping the title on Cena. Even with them doing like the retirement match and stuff, I mean, most of the people that are in there, other than maybe like LA Knight, like I don't really feel like should be an Intercontinental title. Like Jey Uso, it'd be okay, but we've already seen him with the title run. Unless they really are going to just give him a long title run, there's no point. Gunther's already had the Intercontinental title. I don't think it's really necessarily needed for him. Like I said, LA Knight I thought would be pretty solid, and Solo just he's on SmackDown, and they would. I don't think they would really do something like that. But I guess we'll see. So I feel like Dominic wins here just so he gets the title back to do his own thing. Then we get to the first of the two War Games matches. We'll start with the women first because I think this is going to be the better match. It is Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, AJ Lee versus Nia Jax, Lash Legend, the Kabuki Warriors, and Becky Lynch. I actually like everybody that they chose in this match. It was kind of, we knew there was going to be some different combinations, and then adding the two with AJ Lee and Becky Lynch as the last two members, I think really does work out. I'm glad Lash got the call up for the main roster. I think they should have given her a little bit better of like a fiery like push to get in there. I think like she put way too much over down in NXT that she kind of seemed weak, and they haven't really established her on the main roster, so it feels a little rushed, but it is a grand stage to really try to get her over to fans and show what she can do, because if you're not really watching NXT, then you have absolutely no clue about her, which I think is going to be a pleasant surprise for people who haven't seen it. Obviously, you got the tag team champs in here. It's another weird thing where, like, the men's match has like a lot of gold on it, but they only have the tag team titles up here, and it's not necessarily bad, but I feel like they should have put a little bit more star power. That's why the Becky Lynch losing the title thing just doesn't really make a lot of sense right before this War Games match, because she's coming in here kind of like very cold. I do think that the baby faces need to win here. I think it's a better story to be told, because the Kabuki Warriors are the tag team champs. As long as one of them doesn't eat the pin, Nia Jax is still, a major heel. Same thing with Becky Lynch, and Lash Legend coming in should be the one that gets pinned here. It wouldn't really kill her momentum right off the bat, because she's such like a big, powerful fan. If they really give her something like that, like is devastating, it would make sense for her to get the pin. And I guess on the women's side, on the winning side, I think AJ Lee would be pretty solid. I could also see AJ Lee pinning Becky Lynch to like start a feud with them going into it. But why not have the Intercontinental title through that? That just seems like a big wasted opportunity. But I don't write this stuff. I don't know if anybody else has felt this as a little side tangent, but this year's writing has just been all over the place, and this is kind of the prime example. We could have had a lot more storylines going on here, especially with like the Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley thing, where they're not trusting each other. Shouldn't have really been something that they were going. It should have really just been like Alexa Bliss and Flair wanting their tag team titles back, so they were part of this. It just kind of felt like it makes sense that they would be friends or like allies of convenience, but they are just on opposite sides. So yeah, I'm gonna think it's the team babyface is gonna win here. Then on the men's side of things, this is kind of a weird one, because I really do believe that the heels win here, but it's CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, the Usos, and Roman Reigns versus the Vision, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar. Because I don't really see who gets pinned on the heel side of things if they do lose, because like all of them have such momentum that like you really couldn't. Like Drew McIntyre for sure could not be pinned. Brock Lesnar I don't think is going to be doing anything to help anybody. The Vision is still trying to be like that major like negative force on Raw, and if they lose here, especially with one of them taking the pin, especially Braun Breaker, I think it would really destroy it. And I don't think Logan Paul is going to take the pin here, so I really do think the heels win, especially with that. But it's kind of dumb because you have both champions on their side, so I think obviously the person here getting pinned is Jimmy. Unfortunately for him, the Usos, obviously kind of be back together is kind of cool. They have no clue what they're doing with Jay, so this would have been a good story to tell, that like back when they were talking about Jay, not being, wanted to be like a Roman Jr. and all that type of stuff, and they could have had the Vision like try to like maybe twist and try to get him to turn on his family, but they didn't really do any of that. So I don't think we're gonna get much surprises, and if we do, it's just gonna feel completely random because they haven't built anything up. Roman Reigns, cashing in his paycheck just so we can get him out here every 3 months. And like CM Punk and Cody Rhodes obviously both being champion, I don't really think there's anything here. I think maybe some type of miscommunication, one of them taking out Roman Reigns, could definitely signal the future of what WrestleMania might look like, because I do think Roman faces one of them, and I think Brock Lesnar might fight the other one, depending on what they're doing. Terrible, terrible decisions. I actually don't like. I don't mind Roman versus CM Punk, but if you go Roman versus Rhodes, I think would be dumb, because we just have gotten that so many times. And Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes would be dumb. Lesnar versus CM Punk really doesn't seem like that'd be fun either. So hopefully that's not the case, but because they're like advertised and showing like all that type of stuff, I think they're definitely going to be major players during that time. I guess we'll see, but I do think the team heels will win here. Plus, it always feels like it's like one or the other. Like if the heels win one match, the baby faces win the other. I mean, they've had times where both of them have won, but I do think it's going to be a one-on-one thing. And yeah, that's my prediction video. Tell me what you guys are feeling, how you guys are going to be, are you guys going to be watching? I honestly just not been super excited about this one. I feel like they really should have like sweetened the pot of the rest of the card, because the War Games matches are great and solid, and that's what this PLE is about. But having nothing of interest on this card with John Cena as being his last PLE is kind of insane for me, because I feel like they really could have done something unique with him. Like a gauntlet match would have been great, and then have Dom just cheat and win at the last one. Like anything like that would have been great, just so we could see a lot of people do that. And I think that's also something Cena should have done in general. They should have had him come out there and do some type of gauntlet or multi-man challenge type thing on one of the Raws if they weren't going to do it here. So I think at the end it's just going to be kind of a dud of an ending. But I guess we'll see. Until next time, this has been Japan. Bye, guys.